We are short. Randy's taking He does.
Well, so that's gotta be good enough to cover at least 3, right? He's all over the place.
He does, and he probably knew the statute,
Yeah.
whatever. He's not dumb.
APD, FPD.
Everything you need. Sheriff too.
Yeah.
Transportation.
Love your city. Oh, legal.
Well, let's just say the guy doesn't.
Nice.
Pay $100. Everybody conversation.
Sunshine and you just want to. Based on my experiences, like everybody's here.
Yesterday afternoon was such a different day in the morning.
It's another like 3 steps.
Yeah. Perfect.
Get something you want to put sound on or.
I'm in the city's Friday.
Sunday all together's on too.
Honorary council member.
He's in 35.
Oh, yeah, they were getting nailed.
All righty, we'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome. Tom, take the roll call, please.
Mayor King,
Present.
Councilmember at Large Austin,
Present.
Councilmember Postma,
Present.
Baker,
Here.
Baskin,
Present.
Fisher,
Present.
Bashusta,
Present.
Kelly.
Present.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Looking for a motion for the adoption of the agenda with the addition.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under item number 2 is a motion approving the minutes from March 20th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under 3, under recognitions and awards, we have, we're welcoming to the dais Denver Ritz, welcoming him as the council member for the next 6 meetings. Welcome. Thank you for taking on the responsibility. And thank you for sitting next to Councilmember Joyce Bashusta. I know she's not for everyone, but so far so good. So you want to introduce yourself a little bit, Denver? Tell us about you.
Yeah, my name is Denver Ritz, and I work for Hormel. I'm manager of learning and talent development. Prior to that, I was director of the Greater Des Moines Partnership, the 4th largest chamber of commerce in the United States, and just happy to be here.
Great, thank you, welcome. Also in the addition, I have a proclamation from Bonnie Reitz, and I'll read that if you could here. Whereas the Minnesota Orchestra is coming to Austin for Common Chords, a lively community-wide celebration of orchestra in Austin, April 30th to May 6th, and whereas the Austin Symphony Orchestra opens the week with a concert at 2 p.m. Sunday, April 30th, and the Minnesota Orchestra finishes the week with a concert at 7 p.m. Saturday, May 6th, and whereas during the week, a brass quintet, string quartet, or a woodwind quintet from the Minnesota Orchestra will be popping up at different locations all around town. And whereas these same groups will be working with our students in the schools, and whereas we are looking forward to a full week of celebrating orchestras. Now therefore, I, Stephen M. King, Mayor of the City of Austin, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim the week of April 30th to May 6th to be Common Chords Austin Orchestra Week. Very good. Interesting to see where they pop up. Moving on to the consent agenda, need a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under bid openings and awards, we have Stephen receiving bids on item number 5, resolution receiving the bids for asphalt emulsion oil. Stephen?
Yes, asphalt emulsion is the oil that we put down prior to adding the chips for our chip sealing operation. This is something that we do on the asphalt pavement to extend the surface texture, extend the life of the pavement. And we received 1 bid this year. Henry G. Miggs was the bidder in the amount of $54,450. You'll note that it is less than previous years, and that's because we bid out half the quantity that we normally bid. We just looked at the number of streets that need to be done this year, decided we'd cut that quantity in half. So when comparing that with previous or historic bid prices, seems to be in line. So we would recommend awarding this work to Henry G. Miggs.
It's interesting you use the word inline because inline skaters hate this stuff.
Yes.
Looking for any questions for Mr. Lang?
So Stephen, when it says budgeted was 100,000, that would have been for double the amount?
That is correct.
If no more questions, looking for resolution item number 5, awarding the bid.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Yep.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta.
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Agenda item number 6 is receiving bids for bituminous material. Stephen?
This is asphalt that we, with our city forces, we pick up directly at the asphalt plant. So essentially, they are making the asphalt for us. We haul it, bring it back to Austin, use it for all of our street maintenance patches that we do with our street crews, a lot of patching in residential areas that you see us doing. So we establish a cost per ton at the start of the season, and we solicited a couple different bids. There are 2 asphalt plants that are in our area. One is the Yulin Brothers plant located in Glenville, Minnesota, and the Rochester Sand and Gravel plant, which is located over by the Stewartville exit on I-90. We received 1 bid for this work and would recommend awarding this bid to Yulin Brothers for supplying us with our asphalt that we need throughout the course of the season.
Thank you, Stephen. Any questions on this, council?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Item number 7 is receiving bids for asphalt, street, mill, and overlay projects. Stephen?
At previous projects, Mitch Wenham has described our street reconstruction program, and this is our first project out for bids, which is our mill and overlay program for 2023. We received 2 bidders on the project, with Yulin Brothers being low at $338,828.95. That is below our engineer's estimate. Funds for this will come from assessments, capital improvement fund, and also state aid funds, and we would recommend awarding this work to Yulin Brothers.
Thank you, Stephen. Questions? If not, looking for resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Yes.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thanks, Tom. Item number 8 is receiving bids for asphalt street reconstruction projects. Stephen?
Yeah, this is a combination of 2 projects. One is identified in a neighborhood in the northwest, and another is in a neighborhood in the southwest. Combine them together for 1 bid. And we received 4 bidders on this project, which is really good for us. Usually we struggle to get 2 bidders. So to see 4 different contractors interested in our work, we think that's really good, and provided for some good bid prices, with Yulin Brothers, again, being the low bidder at $1,895,750.82. Again, you can see where that compares with the other bidders and our estimate for this project. Funds will come from assessments, our capital improvement fund. We have some sanitary sewer work funding for that will come from our wastewater treatment plant fund, or our user fees. And then also we have some storm sewer work on these projects, which will come from our stormwater utility fund. So with those funding sources in place, we'd recommend awarding the bid to Yulin Brothers.
Thank you, Stephen. Council, any questions for Mr. Lang? If not, looking for resolution for item number 8.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thanks, Tom. Item number 9 is a resolution accepting donations to the city of Austin, and they are as follows: $1,000 from Dr. Kurt Potash to the LEC Fitness Center. I know he's donated in the past, so we appreciate that and thank him again. And $370 from Pat McGarvey to the Flowers. With that, need a resolution accepting the donations.
So moved. Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thanks, Tom. Item number 10 is a motion approving the second extension of lease for the fixed base operator at the Austin Municipal Airport. Stephen?
We have had a long-standing agreement with Bruce Boudon of Austin Aeroflight for management of our Austin Municipal Airport. And through that agreement, there are requirements of Bruce and his maintenance of the facility, keeping it up for us. Bruce Boudon is not a paid employee of the city, but so in return to generate revenue, he is able to use some city facilities to generate money for his business. It's been a very good offset and working relationship for the city to have him as an operator at the airport. We, with the help of the city attorney's office, back in 2013, developed a 5-year lease agreement with Bruce and Austin Aeroflight that had 2 5-year extensions within that agreement. We are before you tonight is consideration of the second extension, which would be a 5-year extension through April 15th of 2028. And everything has gone well with Bruce as the operator, fixed base operator. So we would recommend continuing this 5-year lease for the term.
Thank you, Stephen. Council, anything on item number 10?
Stephen, is there, this makes sense, but just out of more curiosity, are there any other companies or people that would be qualified to do this?
Yeah, so this comes up periodically. There are companies that will operate multiple different airports. There is a fixed base operator at Rochester Municipal Airport, Albert Lee, Waseca, Owatonna. They all have operators that do this type of work. Some of them work for companies that serve multiple airports. Some, like Bruce, have their own company that are just located at one airport. So yes, there are folks and companies that do this. Finding a new one could be challenging. It's hard to know what the economic environment is for this type of position sometime in the future.
So as we think about this one, we've had a long-term relationship, does a good job, we feel good about it. That are all kind of reasons why we approve it without doing like a competitive bid process versus like a asphalt material or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, Mr. Lang, council? If not, looking for a motion for item number 10.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 11 is a resolution approving a contract with WHKS for the northwest sector of the I&I program. Stephen.
Yeah, hopefully our last sector, our last year of doing this. We started in 2018. WHKS put together this 6-year program for us of doing some home-to-home sump pump inspections, televising of our sanitary sewer system, all of our mains underneath the ground, inspection of our manholes, and then compiling a report for all of that and what the condition is of all of that infrastructure. So we are looking at the northwest sector, or year 6 of our program. WHKS has identified costs associated with their work and those items I just described. And bottom table there of the memo shows where we are at to date with all of the different years. We are currently underrunning our total estimated cost with this edition of the Northwest Quadrant. We were estimating this entire 6-year program would cost us $2,250,000. We're running about $100,000 below estimate. And with that, we would recommend awarding this contract to WHKS for this final year of the program. We do anticipate that some of our sump pump inspections will carry over into 2024. We got behind on those a year when we didn't do them due to the pandemic in the summer of 2020. So we're tracking about a year behind on those. But one thing that we look forward to receiving when this is all done as part of this proposal will be a complete analysis of our entire system, where they will prioritize for us where the areas are that we need to hit for sanitary sewer repair, areas that are good, and it really help us for budgeting with our CIP and also with our sewer rates. So this will be great when this is complete and we have that document in hand. So we would recommend approval of WHKS for this work.
And Stephen, do you recall what was like 30% they estimated the water going to the sewage treatment plant didn't need to be treated from these homes?
I'm sorry, I don't know offhand, but that's very likely the number. On that note, we are finding about a 10% non-compliance rate with sump pump inspections. So about 10% of all of the sump pumps that we've inspected, we're going to the sanitary sewer in some manner. So that will make a huge difference on water volume to the treatment plant.
Council, any questions for Mr. Lang on item number 11? If not, looking for resolution.
So moved.
Or a second?
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Yep.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thanks, Tom. Item number 12 is resolution approving a contract with SRF for sanitary sewer design on Highway 218 and 14th Street Northwest. Stephen?
This project is currently not identified in our CIP for 2023 or in the future, but it's something that we felt would be our opportunity to address an issue with our collection system. Back in the late 90s, sanitary sewer was constructed underneath 14th Street or Highway 218, just north of I-90, for the Target development that occurred at that time. And during that construction, and since that time, there have been some deviations in the sewer pipe that have developed over the last 25 years. And with the bridges project, the roundabouts that are being constructed there, this gives us the opportunity to fix that line and actually excavate it across the road, where that's, with the traffic that goes through there, that's usually not an option. So we wanted to take advantage of that, get this project included with the overall I-90 bid. And in order to do that, SRF, they have estimated a cost of $13,216 to develop the plans for this reconstruction, incorporate it into the overall MnDOT plans, and also make sure that it fits with staging and traffic control and all the other things that we would really struggle with if we were to do this on our own. So if this is approved tonight with SRF, we would then have the associated construction costs once the project is bid. I would estimate those in the future would be around $100,000 to actually construct the work. But for tonight, for our meeting, we'd recommend awarding this design services and incorporation into the greater MnDOT project to SRF in the amount of $13,216.
Excellent. That's good thinking. Council, any questions for Mr. Lang on this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you, Tom. Item number 13 is resolution approving exceptional performance pay for the Director of Administrative Services. Craig?
Thank you, Mayor and members. Mr. Danker's contract allows for a provision for up to 3% for exceptional performance pay. His work on the 2023 levy, PFA loan with our wastewater treatment plant, the KSMQ project, and the affordable housing project are just but a few that I'd cite as gaining proposed approval of this. We look for council direction. Be happy to answer any questions.
Council, any questions for Craig? If not, looking for resolution approving.
So move the resolution.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Absolutely.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta,
Aye.
Helly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, and thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Item number 14 is, item number 14 is resolution approving an opioid settlement agreement. Craig?
Thank you, Mayor, members. We've approved one of these in the past. The State Attorney General has a settlement related to opioid supply in the state, and that filters back down to the municipalities. Local municipalities need to sign off on that as well and allow for that funding to be available, which we presume predominantly would be to the counties, but that would be something beneficial for our entire state. We'd ask for council approval.
Council, any questions?
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm quite understanding how this trickles down. Can you explain that again?
Yeah, the Attorney General has come to a settlement that opioid companies have to pay to the state, and local municipalities need to affirm that as well. So that's what we're doing, just to be able to capture those funds that would come to the state of Minnesota and down through the counties for oversupplying opioids in our state and dealing with those consequences.
And so the money The dollars from that go to
Predominantly the counties is our understanding.
counties for
Health and Human Services, corrections budget, to
prevention
send people to
type
treatment.
stuff?
Yep.
Or, okay,
Yep.
all right, thank you.
Just out of curiosity, what would happen if we didn't approve it?
We wouldn't get it.
We would just,
Take a pass.
be denying ourselves funds that they've, litigated for.
Got it. In theory, we could go try to do our own settlement. In reality, not so much.
Yep, which would be beyond our capacity and,
Yes.
yep.
Okay.
All right. with
I
that,
think we should do it then. More.
Looking for
We have faith
resolution.
in Craig.
Put it that way.
So moved.
Second.
Tom?
Councilmember Postma,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
Baskin,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Bashusta.
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember at Large Austin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. Item number 15 with the, is a motion with the resignation of Jerry McCarthy on the Port Authority. This motion was appointing Jeff Smith to the Port Authority, term expiring December 31st, 2026.
Good choice, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Citizens addressing council.
Oh, we got one addition.
Oh, sorry, one addition, yes, we do.
Got a drink at the Nature Center.
Thank you. Item number 16 is a motion for temporary liquor license.
That was on the consent.
Oh,
Oh,
never mind.
all right, well then,
We're okay.
let's go back to the citizens addressing the council.
You can already drink it.
Any citizens here? I don't think, see any. Okay. Honorary council member comments. Denver, observations, comments?
No comments at this time. I'm just really appreciative for the opportunity to learn.
Right on. Thank you. Under reports and recommendations, Craig?
I don't have one. Mr. Lang has one.
He's done enough talking today.
Thought you wanted to hear a little more from me. So, first item, I have two items. First one is the noise barrier survey. I sent that out to residents and also invited them to a meeting next Wednesday, April 12th at 4:30 here in the council chambers, if any council members want to attend, in hopes that those that can't attend next Wednesday's meeting could hopefully get the survey back or call me ahead of time. Others that attend the meeting, the goal will be for them to complete the survey at that meeting once they gather more information. So that, again, is scheduled for next Wednesday, April 12th, 4:30 here in the council chambers. Second item, kind of like that I-90, 218 sanitary sewer issue where we didn't have it budgeted and needed to add the work. We have a force main, we call it Crest Haven Force Main. It's located in Crest Haven Addition, 27th Street Northwest, that was constructed about 30 years ago. Ductile iron pipe, we typically don't anticipate any issues with that type of pipe material. Well, last August, at the end of August, there was a hole in the pipe and we repaired it. Then we found that there were stones about the size of a fist that were adjacent to the pipe that must have been placed there 30 years ago during the backfill operation. Well, we got a second hole in the pipe at the end of October, and we got a third hole in the pipe here at the end of March. So that's telling us we need to make an emergency replacement of this pipe. We can't keep having these leaks. So we are out right now looking for bids to get contractors to see if we can get this repaired in a timely manner. We expect the cost to be something less than $75,000. So we're going through our procurement requirements, which requires us to get 2 quotes. And we hope to have that work completed in the next couple weeks. So again, just a emergency thing that's come up. Wanted to make sure you knew about it. If residents in that area asked why we've been out there digging 3 times in the last 9 months, that's why. And this 4th time, we hope to have the problem corrected. So just want to make you aware of that.
Excellent. Thank you. Is that it, Greg? Council, let's go with Joyce down there.
Jeff, I appreciate the research and information you provided on the noise barrier email. That was good. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter.
Right on. Thanks, Joyce. Paul?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Jason?
Wish good luck to all the spring sports that are starting. May actually be able to do it above the freezing temperature for the first week.
Get a baseball game in.
You can get there.
Jeff?
Now we're
Nothing,
jinxed.
Your Honor.
Jeff?
A couple things. Stephen, thanks for offering to help
spend more time with the group of residents that are talking about this sound barrier. Hopefully we can get that group to a consensus. Second, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if everybody knows this here, but my sister died of a opioid overdose not too long ago. Well, it seems like not too long ago. If we get money, let's just make sure we spend it wisely. It's a little personal to me, and a lot of problems there, and a lot of solutions required. Last, you know, we approved a much-deserved and contractually eligible bonus for Tom Danker tonight. And I think we did something very good and something very bad at the same time. It's really good that we have a chance to recognize superior performance. I don't like the idea of having one employee that has to prove his or her worth in a public meeting every year. And I think we got to think about the process of this. I think we're awfully lucky that we get to recognize good performance year over year. I think the process needs some adult supervision. I don't think this is fair for anybody involved. And I'd like us to, from an HR standpoint, look at that contract and see if we can do this in a more civil manner. Please. That's it.
Mr. Postma.
A couple things. I passed around some flyers from Discover Austin meeting. The position that we funded to help try and bring in some new business to Austin. These are just a couple of examples. She's using some software that we were able to purchase with those funds that kind of shows when there's people requesting RFPs. There is all sorts of interesting groups out there. So these are just a couple examples, but a little more personalized touch than I imagine some other RFPs give. And we've had some success bringing some groups to town next year, and hopefully some of those are even for 2025. The HRA met this week, or last week. Things are still going well on the new apartment complex. Thank you all for approving some of the utility work that need to change underneath it. There was the second study of the site and the soil, and there's a couple of minor things that we're hoping we'll be able to clear up without having to do a third study to keep that rolling. And then last but not least, everyone is invited, including on the council, for the Hometown Food Security Project. They are having a food security action planning meeting April 12th, 8 to 12. You get to work with the good Postma if you go to this one. So I've got that here if anybody's interested, but it's a great group of folks who are looking to eliminate hunger in our community, and that is a very worthwhile cause.
Laura.
So the Culture and Arts Commission continues to work on bringing in a group to do justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion training through comedy. And Malheur County has committed to one training session and the funds to support it. And I believe it was last week, the opportunity went in front of department heads for the city. They can choose to send their people to this or not. It's about microaggressions. So we continue to work on that project in the Culture and Arts Commission. We also have rescheduled 4th Avenue Fest. We're moving it back to June 7th so that we can use the pool for open swim before lessons start. So if you had the other date down, please note it's now June 7th for 4th Avenue Fest. Parks, Recreation, and Forestry has very many things happening all the time, but I definitely wanted to highlight another Emerald Ash Borer informational meeting. That'll be Thursday, April 13th at 6 p.m. at the Isaac Walton Cabin. And then there's also a new program they're doing called Tree Steward Training, Saturday, April 15th. It's all day at the Nature Center. You can find more information on the website, and Parks and Rec is also really active on Facebook if you're on there. And then finally, I would like to go on the record and say that the performance pay for Mr. Dankert is a bargain at twice the price. And I think he was signing for pizza at our last meeting when I said, occasionally things pop up and there's questions about, is everything okay with city finances? Could there be anything happening that is not above board? And I really appreciate the fact that I can just answer that with a resounding no. We have it really buttoned down and we follow policy and procedure. I think a lot of communities have policy and procedure, but they don't necessarily follow it, and I know we do here, and I know it's Tom and his team that lead that, so thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
And on that note, Tom, pizza's here.
Good timing.
Perfect timing.
I had the opportunity to join the board of the Southeast Minnesota League of Municipalities, and last week was my first meeting, which happened to be an annual meeting in Chatfield, beautiful small city in southern Minnesota. And in the spirit of appreciation, I couldn't tell you how many people said, oh, Craig Clark, he does amazing work for all of us in testifying and helping out our causes in southern Minnesota. So thank you, Craig, on behalf of the Southeast Minnesota League and also the League of Minnesota Cities for all the testifying you do and you've been doing. That's very well received. Thank you. Also, since our last meeting, we had the Portuguese delegation. These are three of the most charming individuals you ever want to meet. And they saw a good chunk of the city. I got the opportunity to meet and greet with them at the Spam Museum and then eat with them at the Bella Victoria. And since it is they have the two largest vineyards in the world, two oldest vineyards in the world, I felt it right to buy some bottles of Boone's Farm for the delegation they never had it, they loved it. It was just robust. So just an outstanding time, and I appreciate Trish and Craig for all the work that you guys did to organize that, all the movement that was involved in that, make sure they see a good glimpse of Austin, and it was very, very well received, I know, so thank you for your efforts on that Portuguese delegation. And with that, I guess take a motion to adjourn to Monday, April 17th.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?